Today I'm here with Daniela, and she's going to show us her beautiful home in Georgetown. So why don't we start with just showing your kitchen? Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here. The kitchen, I would say, is like the heart of the home. I love hosting so much. I love having people here, and I love that, you know, I have a pretty open space.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm having people over, I love it to be really casual, having people just hang out here while I'm cooking. And so that's what I love most about the kitchen.
It's really nice for you guys to just kind of get a feel. It's open, but it actually feels
like a little closed
off,
still,
but you can still talk to everybody, which is great.
Exactly.
So is there anything else in the kitchen you'd sort of like to show off for us?
Let's see. I mean,
you have some beautiful, even like this, I'm like, I love the way your produce is displayed.
Yeah. I always wanted to look as nice as possible.
Yeah.
You know, the space is not huge. And so I feel like whenever there is a little bit of clutter, it just, I don't know, it's highlighted so much more. I honestly try to hide like everything.
Yeah,
so
I get it. I totally get it.
I have like so many little baskets around where I'm like, okay, I don't maybe need to have my juicer out here at all times. Yeah. So just try to do the most with the space that we have.
It looks great.
Thanks.
So we've moved over from the kitchen, and I really wanted to show off this area. I mean, this is so adorable. Tell us about it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so this is my hosting area. This is where I kind of like keep everything for whenever I'm having people over. I have it all in here.
So it's pretty functional then.
Yeah,
That's great.
Super functional. It's also a little bar, so.
Oh, I love it.
So it just hides everything. I'm all about the storage over here, just doing the most that I can with the space. But this is one of my favorite corners in the entire apartment. I love the wallpaper.
It's beautiful. Is this actual wallpaper or is it peel and stick?
Peel and stick.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah, so I did a lot of research. I actually got like a bunch of the like little samples and just tried everything out. I wanted it to go nicely with the color over there. So I definitely like put a lot of thought into it. It's kind of an awkward space without like the cabinet, and I just found it was like not big enough for a table, but it's kind of like in the middle. So I'm like, how can I make this a little bit more functional?
You did a fantastic job. It looks like it was meant for this space.
Yeah, and just tying every other space together. So got a few of these from travels. I love to travel. Always try to pick up a book whenever I am somewhere new. I love these little leather guys.
Yeah.
These are like little collectible leather animals. We have a couple of them. So
it's very sweet.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I immediately was noticing is that like I really appreciate how you use different textures, different colors. Like I think a lot of times people assume when they're styling an area, everything's supposed to match and look the exact same. And really, it's like, how does it coordinate together?
100%. And it's so funny because I do a lot of event design, and so tablescapes as part of that. And I always talk about how important the texture actually is. Like if you use flowers, that's adding texture. If you use, you know, like rattan placemats or just things like that, that's also adding a ton of texture. So it's just figuring out ways to layer everything together and maybe not have just one thing that stands out, but how can you combine different pieces so they all work together? So I was really happy with this corner for that specific reason. I feel like we have the wallpaper. This is obviously like a checkered and you know, the color from all the books, but somehow it all kind of works together.
It's really, I love to see that there's a pattern wallpaper, there's a pattern going on here, and it's not fighting.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. We've moved on into the dining room.
Yes.
You said you love to host. It makes sense that you would want a table that can seat lots of people. So tell us about this space.
Yes, absolutely. Like I was telling you earlier, I love a closed off space. So it's actually really nice whenever we have people over because it's with the event, it kind of like moves with you. So you start like in the kitchen and then you finally make it to the living room or the dining room, and then it just, I don't know, I feel like the vibes are much more like intimate over here.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't you tell us about this setup back here? I love this look because it's a great way to display, but it's also just unique looking.
Yeah, so this is actually a wall shelf. It's not meant to be at all like a credenza, but I thought it was, you know, it's a little bit more narrow than a regular buffet. Yeah. So it gives me, you know, enough space if I want to set some like glasses or whatever down. There's enough space to do that, but also it doesn't eat up too much of the dining room either. So I love using it kind of like a display shelf, but also like it's, you know, mounted to the wall. So I think it's just a little bit interesting, you know, it's not an actual table.
Fantastic idea. I would have never have thought of that. I can appreciate though, there's so many times where I've been looking for an item and it was the depth was the most important thing to me. Yeah. So I can definitely relate to having to look for
especially like in an apartment, you know, you don't have all the space in the world.
Right.
So you kind of have to get creative with how you use certain things.
Sure. All right, so we have moved over to the living room area. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it? I mean, this is amazing. This fits the space perfectly.
Yes, we wanted something that was big enough that we could have a ton of people over. And if we want to watch a game or whatever, it's still comfortable for everybody. And now it's just my husband, my dogs, and I in this apartment. And it's so nice because we all have like our individual
spots.
Spots.
Yeah, sure.
So we love that, and also love that it's like so low to the ground. You know, I feel like it adds.
I like it
so much with like the shelves too. It kind of is.
We talked a lot about like patterns and textures, but also there's different heights that change things up. I love that.
Absolutely.
So tell us about what's over in this space.
Yes, so I wanted to have this bench here again as additional seating in case we have more people. So this is very easy to just pull over to the couch area.
Yeah.
And here, just some more little trinkets from, you know, there's no real rhyme or reason to this. I love collecting like little miniature things. So I have these
that's
tiny
adorable. They're so
animals.
tiny.
This is actually really funny. I got these in Paris and I just happened to stumble across this very small shop that has like thousands of these little ones, and it's like the shelves that they have, they're covered, like completely full
They
of
look
these.
vintage. Are they vintage?
Yeah. So the man that makes them, he is from Toulouse, and he stopped making them, I believe, like 20 years ago. Okay. But there's still so many of them.
There's so many, you can still get them. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I went back, and I happened to stumble across the same shop again, out of like unplanned, just out of nowhere. And so I was like, well, now I have to get another little guy. So I walked out with two because they're just so cute.
That's adorable. So we were just talking about how I love how you use this space so well. When you live in a smaller home, you cannot overlook any area. No. And so many people would see this and just think, oh, it's just to walk through the living room, but you've done a lot with it. It's amazing.
I love having this little corner. I love it for coffee in the morning, if I'm reading a book. I also have a little glass tabletop that I'll put on here if we want to do like a date night or something at home. And it just feels a little bit more cozy than being at the 6-person dining table. So I definitely use this space a lot. I think it's one of my favorite corners in the apartment. It gets great natural light in the morning and great light in the afternoon too.
It's great. Okay, so you have some really nice, I would call this a gallery wall. Yes. Is that what you, totally. Okay, so tell us a little bit about deciding what to use and mixing prints and everything.
So same as the rest of the apartment, I wanted to include some elements that are a little bit more modern. Like I have this one here that's mainly just the lines, and this one with the black and white, but then also balancing that, and this with the almost like empty white space, and balancing that with these two more colorful pieces that kind of like continue to guide your eye to the rest of the apartment. There's pops of sage throughout and like a little bit of red that I think just keeps your eye like interested and keeps you just going. So that's how I picked those. Also the gold tones in the frames were really important to kind of tie everything together. This was also from a little map that a hotel gave us when we were traveling.
Oh, wow.
It was such a fun vacation, and I love just looking at it and thinking about that. So I try to include little things that just remind me of little memories. Okay, so just a little bit about myself. I moved around a lot when I was growing up. Every 3 years we would move for my dad's job. I was born in Colombia, South America, but I've lived in Mexico, Bangladesh, Philippines. And so anytime we would move, we actually would have to stay at a hotel for about 3 months while we waited for our stuff to actually get to wherever we were. And it was, the idea of making where you are feel like home has always been a really important thing to me. And also it inspired me to study hospitality. I went to school for hospitality management. I've always loved hospitality, and for a really long time I actually worked in event planning. So I did that for like 7 years after college, and if you worked events, you know how much work that is. I was doing weddings every single weekend, and or I was, when I worked for an association, I was traveling around a lot, and it just becomes a lot of work, and I knew I wanted to step away from doing that. So I went into more of the marketing side of things, and have actually now been in hospitality in the interior design space, working in marketing. And then, my love for events never actually went away, and I decided to tap back into that, and that's kind of what led to starting Poppy and Lola, and the idea of hosting just really beautiful events, but also knowing how to host something beautiful at home. Like, we don't have to make it this big production. You just need to know what you're doing, whether that's with a flower arrangement. I don't know if you've felt this way, but sometimes you go into a store and you pick out these beautiful napkins and placemats, and then you get home and you're not really sure how to put them together. So my goal is to, bridge the gap between inspiration and execution, and actually helping you create something really beautiful for any occasion.
Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more episodes on all things home.